I've been in love before. I know how that sounds coming from a 16-year-old, and I can already hear the comments, "You're too young to know what love is." And maybe that's true. But I also think that's a bit of a cop-out answer, because what I felt was real. At the time, it was genuinely real. And that's kind of what this whole video is about. I had a girlfriend. It lasted 2 months, and before we even started dating, maybe 2 weeks into knowing her, I felt this pull that I've never really felt before. This genuine connection that kind of caught me off guard. And the whole time I remember thinking, is this actually real? Does she actually like me for me? Or is my brain just sort of playing a trick on me that's gonna end horribly? And it wasn't a trick. It was real. It was genuinely one of the better feelings I've ever experienced. But here's the thing. It faded. Like, not dramatically, not in some big falling out, just slowly, quietly, on some random Tuesday evening where the replies got a bit shorter and the conversations just got a bit drier. And eventually it just wasn't there the way it had been. So, was it real? And if it faded, does that mean it wasn't real? I think most people our age believe love is supposed to fill every single hole you couldn't fill yourself. Every sort of painful memory that you couldn't shake, or like every time you felt hopeless or embarrassed or not enough, love was meant to be the thing that's finally going to fix all of that. And I get why people believe that. We've been sold that story ever since we were kids. Every movie, every song, every storyline just sort of moved towards the same thing. Finding the person who makes everything make sense. But I think that's exactly why so many people end up disappointed by it when it actually happens to them. Because love, especially when you're 16, doesn't fix the holes. It just sort of distracts you from them for a while. And when the distraction fades, and it does fade, you're left with the same stuff you were carrying before, plus the added confusion of wondering why the thing that was supposed to fix it didn't. When I look back at being in that relationship, there's this sort of thing I notice about it. I was sort of just not fully myself. Like, not in a bad way, but in a way where everything had this soft sort of tint on it. Like rose-tinted glasses, as people say. Which sounds nice, and it was nice at the time. But I also think that my judgment during this time was heavily impaired. The way you feel about someone when you're in love isn't really an accurate read of reality. It's a heightened version, an edited version, and making big decisions from that about who you are, about what you want, how you feel about your life, those decisions don't always hold up once the glow fades. Love is a powerful emotion. There's no denying that. Probably one of the most powerful ones there is. But powerful doesn't mean accurate. And I think that's worth knowing before you let it run your entire life and choices like I did. Some people will tell you love is just chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, evolution doing its thing to make sure that we actually reproduce. But technically, yeah, it probably is. But I don't think that makes it less real. The fact that there's a biological plan in place behind a feeling doesn't cancel the feeling out. Pain has a biological mechanism too, and so does joy, so does every emotion you've ever had. The mechanism doesn't make it fake, it just sort of explains the wiring. Here's the part I want to be brutally honest about, because I think it's the most important bit, personally. If love is the main thing determining whether you're happy, if you feel complete when you have it and empty when you don't, that's worth paying attention to, not as a judgment, like just as information. Because that gap, that emptiness when love isn't there, that's not love's job to fill. That's yours. And the version of you that goes looking for love to solve that problem is going to find that it doesn't work. Not because love isn't real, but because it was never the right tool for that particular job. Spend time with yourself first. Learn what you actually like, what you actually think, and who you are actually when nobody else is in the picture. Deepen that connection before you go looking for another one, because the more solid you are in yourself, the less you need love to complete you. And ironically, that's usually when it shows up anyway. Here's something I think's true that most people won't say out loud because it sounds unromantic. Love comes in phases. The person you love at 16 is probably not the person you'll love at 26. Not because either of you did anything wrong, but because you're both changing so rapidly that the version of yourself from 6 months ago barely resembles who you are now. The idea of meeting the right person on your very first try, and that being the person that you stick with for the rest of the story, it's not impossible, it's just exceedingly unlikely. And pretending otherwise sets people up for a kind of guilt and confusion that they didn't need to carry. Whatever happens, happens, okay? Don't force yourself into a relationship just to say you've had one. It's, one, not sustainable, and it wears you down faster than you think. The right thing at the wrong time is still the wrong thing. So, is love real? Yeah, I think it is. I mean, I felt it, and it felt real. But it's not the thing that everyone makes it out to be when you're young. It comes and goes, it changes shape, it fades sometimes without anyone being at fault. And it definitely shouldn't be the main thing holding your happiness together. Take my advice, just take it one day at a time. Enjoy it when it's there, and don't chase it when it's not. In the in-between, figure out who you actually are without it. Take it one day at a time. Enjoy it when it's there, and don't chase it when it's not. And during the in-between moments when you're still figuring stuff out, just figure out who you are without it. Without love having to judge everything. Without feeling such a pull whenever you think of that special someone, because I know you're thinking of them. Just sort of focus on yourself. Especially if you're my age, being 16, listening to this. We're still changing so rapidly, there's really no point in trying to find someone for life. Instead, start figuring stuff out that you haven't sort of been putting forward, because at the end of the day, who are you going to have in the end of all of this? Regardless of people who stay, people who leave, you only have yourself. So I think it's worth investing into yourself rather than chasing someone's love when they're probably figuring out themselves in the first place. This is First Draft. Thank you so much for watching this far, and if you did take something away from this, please give me a like and subscribe. It'd really mean the world to me. See you in the next one.